What's up, guys? Today we're going over the 1000 yard stare, which is the new sniper rifle from the dungeon, which can now be farmed efficiently from the boss fight. So in this video we're going to be quickly going over the rules on the weapon and seeing if it's worth getting the PV god roll of this weapon. In Destiny 1, the 1000 yard stare was one of the best PV snipers, so let's see if it lives up to that hype. So first, looking at the perks on this weapon, there isn't really too much to talk about outside of one perk in the left and one perk in the right for PvE, and that's going to be triple tap in the left, which is among the best perks on a sniper. Then on the right, there's going to be a new perk called Golden Tricorn. So if we just start off with triple tap on this weapon, since it is a 90 RPM, that means you can get a 5 mag by using something like a pin and mag. Then you can also put on backup spec to get to 7. So with a 5 mag, you'll be able to shoot 7 straight, and with a 7, you'll go up to 10. And those extra 2 or 3 bullets will be from thin air, which will greatly help your total damage out of the weapon. Then in the right, the new perk Golden Tricorn. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage. While this buff is active, grenade or melee kills of the same damage type greatly increase its damage and duration. So when we look at how that works in the game, without any buffs, we hit 19,830 on Carl. Then if we go and get a kill and get the Golden Tricorn, it'll be for 7 seconds, and as you see, it'll take the damage to 22.8, which is going to be exactly a 15% increase with the ×1. But what happens now if we get a void melee or void grenade kill after getting the initial kill with the 1000 yard stare? As you see, we'll get Golden Tricorn ×2 for 10 seconds, and I'll take it to 29,745. And just like other perks in the game, if we get another void melee or void grenade kill, it'll refresh the timer, and it will not stack higher than the ×2, and that will result in a 50% damage buff, which is the highest in the game, tied with multi-kill clip ×3. But for a sniper, obviously this is kind of realistic to use. So if we look at some DPS numbers with the weapon, I'm just going to shoot off 7, reload and shoot off 7 for the 1 and 2 mags. With triple tap, you could shoot up to 10 with backup mag. So just looking at that, as you see, we could in theory have all of our shots under the Tricorn buff, resulting in 52,000 for the 1 mag and 42.7 for a 2 mag, which are very good for a special weapon. But I think realistically, in most boss fights, by the time you actually set up for damage, I think you will only have the buff for the first mag. So a more realistic second mag would be 35,600, which drops off quite a bit. Obviously, with this being an energy weapon, you can pair it with the Anarchy for the combo DPS. So looking at damage on Carl with Anarchy, just to make sure nothing has changed since the last time I did my numbers. As you see, sticking 2 Anarchies will last for roughly 11 seconds and do a lot of damage, and it's going to add roughly 218,000 damage over those 10.5 seconds, which is going to be right around 20,711 more DPS. So now with the combo DPS, it would look like 72.7 thousand over the 1 mag, and for 2 mags, 56.3, and those numbers are pretty good, kind of up there with some top heavy options. This weapon also holds 27 with double reserve perks, which means the sniper alone with triple tap will be doing almost 900,000 damage, which is great for a special weapon. Then plus the Anarchy damage, that is looking really good for total damage output. So Golden Tricorn obviously results in among the best sniper numbers in the entire game, but the question is it realistic to use for boss fights? And honestly, probably not, but for just general gameplay, I think it is a very good perk. So what you can do, since you need a void melee or void grenade kill, is you can take advantage of Phantomite very easily with this weapon. It makes a lot of sense, and all you need is either Elemental Ordnance to create void elemental wells on void grenade kills, or you could use melee wellmaker to make the void elemental wells on void melee kills. So we add that into the DPS numbers. The Anarchy combo with Font will now go up to 85.7 and 65.2. Then we can also add in Weapons of Light and a debuff. It'll take it to 150 and 114. But obviously all the weapons in the game can get those same 2 buffs and that debuff. So the real comparison was that combo DPS number before we started adding in the buffs. So although this weapon might not be the most practical for boss fights, for general use, it is one of the best snipers in the game. And if you build into it, for example, using something like Voidwalker for Devour, or if you're on Titan, you can use Military Sentinel, or on Hunter, whatever void subclass of choice, you'll be able to get the Golden Tricorn ×2 for a lot of like the majors, mini bosses, ultras leading up to boss fights. And the other weapons I'm going to pair with this is going to be a Osmosis Kinetic, so something like the Judgment with Demo would be my go-to. And I'm going to be using Anarchy, but you could also use something like Tractor Cannon if you wanted to keep with the whole Void theme. And I'm going to be using Verity's Brow. You could also use Nezarec Sin on Warlock, but then the mods on all the characters would be the same: Elemental Ordnance or Melee Wellmaker, depending on which one you want. Then I have Elemental Time Dilation, which will make it so multiple copies of Phantomite will extend the time duration So I have 2 Phantomites on, which will take it to, I believe, 20 seconds or it's 18 seconds, something like that. That way, when we do get that Void Elemental Well, it'll overlap with the Golden Tricorn perk. And the final mod I have on is going to be either Bountiful Wells or Melee Wellmaker. Both are going to be really good. And I'll go ahead and link this build down below in the comments. And now with this build, it's very easy to overlap Phantomite with the Golden Tricorn ×2. And it will just absolutely shred through any high health enemy. I'm practically one-shotting all of them in this strike gameplay, which is really good from a special weapon. And overall, if you build into this perk and kind of learn the playstyle, it is really, really strong. But with that being said, I don't think it's going to be like a great boss DPS weapon. Right now, snipers are definitely not meta, but even if they were, I think there is way better choices than this for those boss fights. Ones that don't require crazy setup and just have a consistent damage perk, for example, Warple, High Impact Reserves, or something like that. But if you want to be crazy and try to use this on a boss fight, you probably could get 1 mag off with the full combo going, and maybe a little bit of the second mag. But if you had a full team trying to do that, obviously everyone trying to get a grenade kill before the boss, it just wouldn't work out. So overall, I definitely don't think it's worth even trying for boss fights, but for just general gameplay, it is a cool role, and you can make a cool build with it. And not to mention that this weapon has one of the best PvP rolls on it, which is Quick Draw Snapshot, one of my favorite rolls that was on the Beloved that I used all the time back in its heyday. So I'm definitely looking to get that roll too for PvP, but for PvE, Triple Tap, and Tricorn, it's definitely a cool roll. And overall, this roll isn't something that has to be like completely game-changing that you need to get right now. If you're farming for the Ice Luna or someone else from the boss fight and you happen to get one of these rolls, definitely hang on to it and try it out. But honestly, it's not like a must get right now. Anyways, I think that's it for the commentary. Let me know what you think about the 1000 yard stare. The rest of the video will just be some strike gameplay with the build I made. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.